Last week Tuesday, I had an interestingly weird experience. I was at the grocery store when I was approached by this friendly-looking couple. We had a bit of a chat, about the weather, about the prices of stuff and how everything's gotten quite expensive nowadays. Normal conversation you would have with strangers that you meet out and about. By the end, we exchanged phone numbers. I did not expect to hear back from them again. Until 3 days later, when I got a call from the wife, she mentioned that, she was a housewife, she doesn't work, her husband was currently at work, and, she was hoping to, catch up with me and have a coffee. So I kind of assumed, she's trying to make friends, right? And, I haven't made friends as an adult in a very long time, so it would be nice to kind of get to know someone new. So I went for coffee with her. And initially it was all vanilla conversation, but soon I started getting an inkling that there was more to this. Especially when she started asking me pointed questions about what I studied, what work I'm doing, what my plans are for the future. Much deeper stuff. And so my radar was up. I was like, ding, 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 what's going on here? And what's this all about? But soon I think I let my guard down, just saying things that sounded quite interesting. So stuff like financial freedom, early retirement, passive income. She kind of mentioned how she was able to get a chance to retire early. And it wasn't because her husband's job was paying them so great. It was because they had been able to generate another source of income for their family. And she was asking me if that was something I'll be interested in. I wasn't too sure what she was referring to, but of course, who wouldn't want to generate some passive income? So I said yes. Little did I know what I was saying yes to. So of course, I started peppering her with lots of questions, trying to find out what this business was about and, how I could sign up. I got a sense she was being a bit evasive, even though she was answering my questions. Long story short, I left there with the book and not much answers. She assured me that once I read the book, I would understand a bit more. So I went home, got quite busy with life, but she had arranged a follow-up call, and she had mentioned that it would be nice if I read the book before that call. So obviously, the night before the call, I was like, let me quickly skim through this book. So at about 9 p.m. that night, I settled into the corner of my sofa with a cup of tea and the book. What seemed to be a light read turned out to raise more questions than answers. MLM, cash flow quadrant, network marketing, sales, business asset, product. Is this a pyramid scheme? I turned the book over, taking note of the cover for the first time, The Business of the 21st Century. And the guy who wrote it, his name sounded familiar. Where had I heard about Robert from? But I was a bit too curious. So I fired up good old Google and started researching. And researching. And researching. And it led me down a whole rabbit hole. 4 hours later, I'm like Alice in Wonderland. I don't know what is up, what is down, if I'm too big for the room or too tiny for the space. Or most importantly, is AmWay a scam? Well, this is what I found out. AmWay, coined from American Way, was established in 1959 by 2 white dudes in Michigan, USA. But it did not stay there. Over the past decade, it's grown to become a global company that has made a whopping $8.1 billion last year alone. They specialize in making household and nutrition products. So, if they're making everyday stuff, and they're very good at doing it, by account of how much they're making, how come I've never heard of them or seen any of their products before? Well, that's because they do not have any physical stores. Neither would you see any of their products on the shelf. They use a system called network marketing. Network marketing is a system of business where products or services are supplied directly from the manufacturer to the end user, avoiding the middleman. Or at least that's what it claims to do. Except, from what it looks like, it's just ended up sprouting thousands and millions of middlemen who do the hard work of selling their products for them in exchange for some compensation that goes along some weird, difficult to understand compensation scheme. So as you can see here, this man and this woman are part of a network marketing scheme. And so they sell product to their large network in exchange for some profit. But there's also something interesting here. This guy up here also has a network, but he doesn't have a product to sell to them. So he's not making any extra income in that way. But little does he know that one day he'll be going about his life normally when either of these people would approach him and try to recruit him to join in their network marketing scheme with the hope that he would start selling the same product to his already established network. Which then brings me to the initial question that made it click on this video. Is it a scam? Can he actually make money if he joins? Yes or no? Let me explain. We all know that the conventional way of making an income is that you're encouraged to go to school, get some knowledge, earn a degree, look for a job, start working, and you get paid a salary every month. That is pretty straightforward, right? And encouraged by everyone. I mean, there are millions and billions of people that do this every day. But then, someone's telling you that you do not need to do any of that to earn an income. Rather, you need to sell product to your already established network or even growing the network further, and that they would give you an income for doing this. I was like, at the end of the day, you're both getting the same thing. So how come you're not encouraged to do one, but you're advised to do the other? Because it's simple enough, but it is very far from being easy. And lots of things to consider when you start such a venture. The amount of time it takes to grow a sizable enough network so that you can actually make an income from it. The effort it takes into growing that network. The skills required are not everyday skills that most people have. And let's not talk about the failures, because you will experience loads of them while trying to build a network. Then there is a financial cost, because you're expected to keep purchasing the products on a regular basis. What about the self-doubt as you experience more failures, and then the criticism from everyone who's telling you you're wasting your time, wasting your money, and wasting your energy? When you stack all that way, you can see why anyone is bound to quit and walk away. So here I am at 3 a.m., my cup of tea is long grown cold, and the book that sent me down this rabbit hole has been cast aside. I am now left with just one question. What are my chances of building a large network of people over time who would use the products from this company on a monthly and regular basis, enough for me to earn an income? Remember, I've been promised a lot of things if I sign up. Financial freedom, early retirement, no boss, no daily commute, passive income, more time with my family. It sounds all so good. But then I remember all the downsides, and now I'm left thinking, should I do it? Yes or no? It's close to daybreak, and I have a meeting with a couple later today. And so within the next few hours, I need to decide, am I going to be signing up to a scam, or could this possibly be the best thing that's ever happened to me? Should I walk through that door? Well, if you want to find out what I will do, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified when I post next after I've spoken with the couple. In the meantime, what do you think, guys? Yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Should I go for it? Also, have you ever been part of a network marketing scheme before? Or known any family member who's been part of such? Do let me know down in the comment section. Thanks!